What's going on, everybody? So, I'm going to replace some of these photos that I have framed. Here is one that I took in Washington Square Park, New York. I believe I took it with a Fuji camera. So, I'm going to replace this one. I'm going to replace this photo of the flat iron building. I took it with an XF 16mm f 1.4. And I believe I had an XH1, Fuji XH1. Uh, that lens is incredible, by the way. So if you're thinking of picking it up, do it. And I believe this third photo is also uh, a 16mm f 1.4. Now I had a lot of Fuji cameras. Uh, I had an X Pro one, I had an XH1, an XT2, GFX 50R, and a bunch of lenses. So right now I only have an XT1 with the 56mm f 1.2. The photos that I'm going to exchange these with are taken with a Leica Q2, and they're all from the Philippines. Now I bought these little uh, frames years ago, so I need to buy me some more because I do have a bunch of photos that I want to take. These are, I believe, 4x5 inch. So let's replace the first photo. Got to make sure that it's not upside down. So this first photo is from the hotel we were staying at in Manila, Pasig City. And I was able to stand on a little balcony area that they had in the roof of the hotel. And you can see the skyline with all of these huge buildings. And then surrounding the big condos are the smaller, uh, they're not slums, they're normal neighborhoods. But within these neighborhoods, you have a lot of struggling. And you go a little further up, you have all of these high priced condos. And with those condos, you have tourists, you have a lot of malls and expensive stores. So I'm going to take this one and replace the Flatiron building, and I'll hang it up later. All right, so there goes photo number one, and I'll hang it this way on my wall. So this second photo, I said I was replacing the Flatiron, which is not the case. This particular bridge, when I used to go to work in the Lower East Side, I would park under this bridge every morning. I would eat breakfast there. I would prepare for the rest of my day that was coming up. I used to repair, build, and maintain elevators. So I would eat my breakfast, prepare myself for the day to come, and enjoy this nice view. So that is why I hung it up in the first place. It reminded me of working in the Lower East Side. I worked down there for many, many years. So the Flatiron building, I took this with the XF 16mm f 1.4. And who doesn't take a photo of the Flatiron building? So I'm going to replace this one. Hopefully I have better success. Let me put this down here. Okay. So I am going to replace this one with a photo that I took in Manila. It's called Rizal Park Musical Dancing Fountain. And with this particular photo, I took it once again with the Leica Q2. And I like to, most of my photos are in black and white, but this one I had to make it in color. What I did was I actually put my shutter speed to about 1/8 of a second. And because the Leica Q2 has in body stabilization, I was able to hold it handheld. So I wanted that motion blur, but of course I wanted everything else to look fairly sharp. And when editing, I added a little bit of saturation, and I did not decrease the highlights. Of course, when taking the photo, I exposed for the highlights, but I wanted the lights and the water to be very saturated. And my wife and I, we had a really good time in this park. So I'm going to hang it up. Let's see if I have more success. By the way, I've talked about the Leica Q2 on my channel quite a bit. And I'll tell you what, the camera is just, it's so tempting nowadays to buy new gear, or you get tempted because you're watching some of your favorite YouTubers. They're always purchasing the latest and greatest gear. Oop, I knocked down Spider-Man over here. And you get the, what they call gas. And of course, there's the Leica Q3, there's the Leica SL body, and the M series. But I tell you what, the Leica Q2, uh, it's very hard to argue against it. It's There's really no need to jump to the Leica Q3. Uh, you have plenty of megapixels. You have an amazing lens that's on the Q3 as well. You can even get a Leica Q. You're going to get an amazing experience either way. So, enough of the Leica Q2. So, this photo, I took it with a Fuji camera. Not 100% sure. At one point, I used to walk around with the 23 millimeter f2, another amazing lens by Fuji. So I'm going to replace this one. This frame is a little different. It just snaps. Okay, so it's supposed to just pop out. It's a little different, or a little challenging doing it from this angle. So I'm going to replace this with a photo, excuse me, from the Manila American Cemetery in the Philippines. There's a lot of history here with the Filipino American War. A lot of Americans are buried there. So let's take this out. Also, the way I composed this photo, I thought of Metallica. There is a photo, there is an album cover from Metallica where it's somewhat similar to this. So, as a matter of fact, let me bring it up, see if I can show you guys. So, let me see, Metallica. So, with the Q2, of course, it's a small camera. It doesn't look intimidating. So, I was able to take it into this place and into the cemetery and not look like I'm going to disturb other pedestrians who were looking around and things like that. I don't really like going to cemeteries and taking photos, even though I have, but I'm there for a reason. And in this particular case, this is a very touristy attraction, and it's a beautiful, beautiful place. It's pretty enormous too. So here's the album cover from Master and Puppets. So I instantly thought of this album cover when I was walking around this cemetery, and I tried to mimic it as much as possible. I printed it in a smaller on smaller printing paper, so I can have it on my wall. I do have uh, 13 by 19 photo paper. I just don't have any frames, so to avoid having wasting ink unnecessarily, I put it on the smaller printing paper for now, and I have a bunch of these hanging on my wall in the room, and there it goes. So yeah, once again, I took this with the Leica Q2. I believe I had this on f11. I wanted to get as much as the scene as possible. If you look closely, you notice two trees. So what I did was I aligned myself so that I can get a row of tombstones going in between these two trees, and it worked out. So I tried to stay symmetrical and systemic. Like I wanted to make it look very. I wanted to put some thought into it, and so considering that I had to, I do have a brain injury. I have issues with balance and things like that. So I'm proud of myself. I was able to get on one knee and get as low as possible to get this shot. Because when you have a 28 millimeter lens, you're going to get a lot wider. So I had to get in somewhat close, not too close, uh, to get the type of shot that I wanted. So I think I might be doing these a little more often. I do have more of these hanging on my wall. And I do want to show off one particular large print that I made. By large, I say 13 by 19. And it's on some matte paper, which is weird to print on. But this particular photo, it the combination of the material from the clothing and stuff and the lighting, it just came out really good. So I'll be showing that pretty soon. So anyway, thank you for viewing my video. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.